Hello everybody, this is Sarahscopic and you're watching another episode of Asphyxia. So, last episode was heavy.
Deep.
Very deep. Let's see where this one goes.
Yeah, if you, I would not pick up with episode 2. If you haven't seen episode 1, you should probably go back. You missed a lot.
You missed a lot. Anyway, Samantha stretched, bringing her arms above her head. The carrier bag she held in her right hand rustled, the cans inside clinking together. She had dozed intermittently on the couch, her eyes flickering open every time the vehicle went over a bump in the road, and she now felt even sleepier than she had done before. Samantha didn't like taking naps. Naps are awesome.
I hate naps.
Really?
I'm with her on this one.
Really?
I always feel sick after naps.
Oh, that sucks. I survive through naps. I actually probably should do, like, biphasic sleeping instead of, like, monophasic sleeping, because, honestly, I feel a lot better sometimes when I've had 6 to 5 hours of sleep and then a nap in between, as
6
opposed
to 5 hours.
Yeah, well, like for the first rest, and then have, like, a nap in the middle of the day. That seemed, if I didn't have a job that required me to be awake for longer, that's actually how I would probably be living.
Fair.
It's just, anyway. Samantha didn't like taking naps, even though she so often felt tired these days. They never made her feel better. As such, she had vowed to herself that she was going to rectify this problem. If not for her own sake, then Roberta's. She couldn't imagine that her friend was happy about being used as a pillow. Aww, but that's really cute!
Yeah, but she's not the love interest. Or maybe she is. Maybe we'll find out that... Are we going to get to make any decisions in this game?
Yes, yeah, there are decisions, but I think there's very few. Okay. So I don't know when they are.
Those will be big decision moments then. It'll be decide time.
Very big decisions. We'll always save before, and since this I'm pretty sure is Renpai, it'll be very easy to save. When the bus stopped at a service station, Samantha's first port of call had been a small shop within the building, namely to the aisle that sold energy drinks.
That actually sounds good right now.
Not
an energy drink, but like just a huge Mountain Dew sounds good.
But you always drink Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we don't have Mountain Dew at our house.
That's fine.
We have Coke.
Okay, we'll have Coke then.
Maybe after we film this, we'll go Coke. She had bought, especially since that tea was gross.
Yeah.
We just filmed Scopic Peeps before this, and that tea was disgusting. Anyway, she had bought 4 or 5 cans of some random drink.
4 or 5 cans? My heart's gonna explode. She's like 3'9".
Yeah, I know. She's never had an energy drink before. She never had that brand before, but the can was decorated in tiger print, so it must have been effective, right? And was now making her way back to the coach, excuse me. The sky above her head was overcast, festooned with gray clouds.
We get it. You're an English major.
Listen, this is what they're meant to do. Though the skies seemed to promise rain, the air was cool and crisp. It was a sharp contrast to the air inside the coach, which was stuffy and oppressive, having been filtered through almost 30 mouths millions upon millions of times. Ugh. The outside world felt and smelt far cleaner. It was refreshing. Samantha had no real desire to set foot back on the coach again. It was supremely self-defeating, like breaking oneself up behind a wall. Ugh, talk about Colin Bushmouth. Unfortunately, she did not have much of a choice.
That was just like 7 paragraphs for Samantha got back on the bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Visual novels, man. With a resigned...
Not very visual, though.
Yeah, they need to change this up a little bit.
Yeah.
With a resigned sigh, Samantha stepped back onto the coach. Here we go. Instantly, she was greeted by rows of red chairs, lined up neatly beside one another, like unusually garish graves in a graveyard.
I definitely thought this was a train that they were on originally. This looks way more like a train, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks more like a train, but it's meant to be like a fancy bus, I guess.
A fancy bus.
Well, it's called a coach.
They're not taking the Greyhound.
No, definitely not. Samantha was not fond of coaches. She found their movements lurching and unpredictable, and she hated being confined within them. Just how much further did they have to go, anyway?
Well, they're probably halfway if they had to stop.
Yeah, exactly. Samantha thought to ask the driver, but he wasn't there. In fact, after scouring the coach, Samantha soon discovered she was one of the only people there. Oh, that's terrifying.
Oh, the horror game's about to set up now.
Yep. A couple of girls were sat in the middle of the coach, both asleep, and Samantha could spy a familiar splash of bright blue hair to her left, but that was it. And speaking of bright blue hair, Samantha tensed. Just how many other people at St. Mary's had such an outlandish hair color anyway? Dyed, obviously.
Hey, listen here, homie.
There is nothing
wrong with having dyed hair.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty. It could only be one person. Well, now you have to be... Oh, you have to be her.
God.
You have to be. Tabitha De Quincey, known to most of the girls at St. Mary's as De Quincey, was seated near the front of the coach, hunched over herself so her back made an arch. She was holding something in both her hands, and, Samantha noted, her shoulders were shaking. Upon further investigation, Samantha discovered, with no small amount of alarm, that De Quincey was crying. She could not see the girl's face, but she could hear her. Small, broken sobs emitted from her mouth, even though it seemed like she was trying as hard as possible to rein them in. I just need to say, so they're all supposed to be in school uniforms, they all wear a little bit differently?
Right.
That cannot be allowed!
Well, I mean... No, alright, she doesn't have, like, the smock here in the front.
She's wearing the skirt.
Now, this is the same top.
That's true.
They are wearing the same top.
Yeah, and the skirt, I guess.
And the skirt, no, because this is a dress.
Yeah, but her friend was wearing a skirt.
Was wearing a skirt,
yeah,
you're right.
So she just hasn't flipped over. But, like, there's just no way.
No.
Also, she's definitely wearing a push-up bra.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, she is. Anyway, trying her to rein them in. Samantha's grip in her carrier bag tightened. The plastic cracked. What should she do? She still had not...
Keep walking.
Yeah, pretty much. She still had not forgotten what had occurred between herself and De Quincey a couple months ago. And as close as the two girls had once been, Samantha had been trying her very best to avoid De Quincey ever since that day.
What happened?
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, probably. Real shortly. Should she continue to uphold her resolution, even now? She was the only person right now who knew De Quincey was crying, so did that make it her responsibility? What if something bad had happened to the other girl? The sudden death of a family member, a close friend, a beloved childhood pet?
Felt up at the truck stop.
Let's maybe wait till they say it before we assume. Just say
It's
it.
gonna be. That's what
I
it
know.
always
That's
is.
what it always the trucks too. Anyway, also, I will say, the narration does a pretty good job of showing her obvious anxiety.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Samantha dithered uncomfortably, unsure. Even though De Quincey was in tears, it had nothing to do with her. She did not owe De Quincey anything, even though she had, Samantha reflected with a twinge of guilt, borrowed all that money from her last term.
What?
What? Moreover, she may have been sobbing over something private, something she did not want others to know about. Asking her about it could very well make the matter worse. De Quincey was so lost in her mourning, she had not even noticed Samantha was there. Samantha could easily have slipped past her, back into her own seat, without ever knowing Sam had seen her. It was perfect. It was perfect, so why weren't her feet moving? Would she let her conscience let her ignore a girl who once been her friend? We're gonna...
What are we gonna do?
Well, we're gonna save real quick, because I always save before choices, so that we can go back. Oh,
Don't
shoot.
quit.
No, I don't want to quit. Sorry, I meant return. Usually returns to the bottom.
Alright, what are we gonna do?
I mean, if it was me, I would approach her, because that's how I am. But what do you want to do?
If it was me, I would be like, hell no, and keep walking.
So how are we gonna figure this out? How about you make the choices, since you're the guest?
Well, let's approach her.
You wanna approach her?
Yeah, we'll approach her.
Okay.
Go ahead. I think you should be
Sure,
Samantha.
that's
You're
fine.
the one racked with anxiety.
Okay.
I like that you went along with it. Yeah, that's right. Wait.
That's fine. You can be blue-haired chick, because I think much more of your style anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna do her like Mickey Mouse, too.
Oh, sounds good, sounds good. De Quincey? Samantha approached the girl slowly, with the same hesitancy one would use if they were dealing with a rabid dog.
Jeez.
Just what she was expecting anyway. Did she think De Quincey was going to bite her? The other girl might have been somewhat shameless, but not even she would have done something that outrageous. Not while she was sober anyway. Drunk on the other... How old are these girls?
How old are these girls? Because she looks like she's 12.
Yeah, and they're already drinking. They must be at least, like, between 13 and 15 then.
I mean, this outfit suggests 16.
True.
This outfit suggests 8.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna...
Hard to say. Like, with the makeup, and I assume they're in high school.
Yeah.
I'll say they're probably supposed to be 16.
Okay. I'm not saying drink underage, I'm just saying that at least makes more sense.
Yeah, I would believe it. I was drinking at 16. Don't pat me like I'm some, like, degenerate.
You're not?
I am, but that's not the point.
Drunk, on the other hand, no. Samantha did not want to think about that. She was not thinking about that. Uh-oh. De Quincey lifted her head, blinking up at Samantha. Her eyes were red and puffy, swollen from tears, and she looked so very pitiful, Samantha found she could not remain anxious for too long. What did she have to be afraid of, really? De Quincey looked like a wreck. She looked even more miserable than Samantha had felt these last 3 months, which was quite an achievement. So something happened 3 months ago.
Sam, you're finally speaking to me after all this time?
I suppose I am. I couldn't just ignore you, not when you look so miserable. It would be quite unforgivable, I think. Even though Samantha had, for a few moments, been pondering whether she should do exactly that. She didn't tell DeQuincy that, though. She didn't need to know.
Sam. Oh, Sam. I thought you'd never speak to me again. You really are a sweetheart after all.
Perhaps. I find it hard to keep grudges. They all seem so pointless. They just make people unhappy.
You were absolutely holding a grudge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's all. That the lie detector determined that was a lie.
Wait a minute, this is actually irony. He's using irony properly. That's what it is.
Good job, English major!
Well done. Very well done. Outstanding. That's true. I've been feeling quite bad over what I did. I know I shouldn't have done it. It was just impulsive, I suppose.
You do. DeQuincy smiled shakily through her tears, which were still dripping down her cheeks, and sniffed. She wiped her eyes with the back of her arm, perhaps attempting to make herself more presentable, and sat up a little straighter. So, if you don't mind me asking, and the subject matter is not too delicate for you to discuss, why are you crying? Did something bad happen?
Something bad, huh? I guess you could say that. It was pretty bad.
What was it?
It's hard to explain. I don't know if you'd understand. Maybe nobody would.
Maybe not. We all grieve in different manners. But if there is anything I can do to help, do not hesitate to ask. I can hardly leave you when you look so very unhappy.
Ugh. Who talks like this?
I know.
Thanks, well...
DeQuincy gave Samantha a watery smile, her lower lip trembling.
I guess there's no easy way to deal with such a thing. The death of a loved one is always painful. It hurts. Though I know it's silly, it really does hurt.
Samantha's eyes widened, so it was as she had thought. DeQuincy really had lost a loved one, and recently too, by the sounds of it.
Her dog.
Yeah, hopefully not. Samantha was no stranger to bereavement. Her own father had died when she was only 7 years old, and it was a memory that stayed with her, following her from place to place more persistently than her own shadow.
Her dad died at 7.
Yeah.
Her mom doesn't speak to her.
Yeah.
Who's taking care of this girl?
Probably, well, it sounds like by herself, and not doing well by the sounds of it.
Yeah, jeez.
She could remember sitting in the parish church of Ottery St. Mary with its vaulted ceiling and stone arches, listening to the vicar as he conducted his service. Samantha had grown restless and started to gnawed her fingernails during the vicar's speech, nibbling them down into stumps. Ugh. Her mother had noticed and had been less than impressed. I know you bite your nails, don't you?
I do bite my nails.
I do. I'm one of those. It's actually pretty common. I do not, funny enough.
Yeah. Definitely a bad habit of mine.
I mean, I do rip at my nails, I guess, when
Sure.
they start to, but I don't bite at them. It's not my nervous tick is actually ripping off the skin off my lips.
I've been known to do that.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. That was.
It also means you're probably dehydrated. Wow, look at that paranoia kick in.
Shut up. I've been told I need to, well, also I've been told I need to, where is it? There we go.
I saw someone on Twitter the other day. They're like, I just finished a tube of chapstick. I feel like that should get you like an real life trophy.
Oh my gosh, talk to my mom or my brother about that, because you actually can have a slight addiction to chapstick, it turns out.
Yeah, I've just never gone more than like a day without losing one.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's
like,
the
I
main
can
problem.
never hold on to it.
Do you remember when they used to be like they made something like this tiny to fit that in your pocket? Yeah, they did at one point, and we all probably reacted the same way, which was, oh, good. I paid $3 for this, and just to lose, I'm paying basically to lose $3.
Yeah, exactly. I'm paying to use it once and then lose it.
Exactly. Anyway, listen and impressed. Through her tears, her mother had taken hold of Samantha's hand, crushing Samantha's fingers beneath her own with a little too much strength, and had hissed at her to just sit still and listen.
Damn, Mom. Let me grieve.
Yeah, that had stung. Samantha had been fidgeting out of callous carelessness. She had loved her father. She still loved him even now, even though he was dead, which is just how that works.
Yeah, that's right. Fair.
She had been fidgeting because she had been anxious, and she had been sad, and she had been trying to distract herself from her own melancholy thoughts, which were growing more and more oppressive by the second. Gosh, Mom!
This is getting deep. Holy crap.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. But her mother had not known that. Her mother never knew that. She had never been able to understand how Samantha thought.
Ugh.
Samantha didn't want to be like her mother, curt and inconsiderate. Instead, she wanted to be kind and caring. Maybe that's why she had, despite her own worries, chosen to pause and speak to DeQuincy. Now that she had committed herself, she could not just turn and leave.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, we're still talking to this, yeah. I I really am sorry for your loss, Tabitha. When did you hear the news?
Oh, it was fairly recent. Only a few minutes ago, actually.
Well, crap, man! A few minutes? Samantha frowned. What did DeQuincy mean by that? Had one of her family members sent her a text message? That must have been it. I was trying to figure out when this took place.
This is gonna be something stupid.
What do you... Oh, yeah.
She lost something stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is
I don't know what it is yet, but it's... Because it cannot stay this dark unless it's going to just keep going. I'm going to have to get numb to this, like, darkness.
That's the asphyxia.
Yeah. Oh.
You just drown.
No wonder it was called that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Anyway, I was wondering... I didn't know if it was in modern times, but okay. So we know this is probably modern times. Cell phones exist.
It's got a cell phone.
That sounded like quite a harsh way to break the news over a recent death, though. Technology was convenient, but it could be so impersonal.
That's right. It was so sudden, too. I mean, I already got a few bad endings. Oh, my God. But I really thought I could prevent it this time. I was so convinced.
Oh, my lord.
I thought I made all the correct choices, but in the end, it still didn't work. Hannah still died.
Oh,
my cute little Hannah. Why must the world be so cruel?
If this is supposed to be a reference to KANA'S little sister, I'm going to eat my microphone.
I'll hold you to it.
No! I'm scared it actually is. Samantha blinked. Now, for the first time, she was beginning to wonder whether she had been laboring under a misapprehension. What do you mean, bad endings? I don't quite understand.
This game's gonna have a bad ending.
Yeah.
I thought you wouldn't. That's what I said. People don't play these kinds of games very much, so they're pretty obscure. There are some really, really good ones, though.
This is a KANA'S little sister reference. I'm so mad. A game? You were crying over a game?
That's right, look.
DeQuincy proffered the plastic object she was holding in her hand to Samantha. Samantha took it. She had not known what it was at first, being more focused on DeQuincy's tear-stained face than what she had been holding, but now, all at once, she suddenly understood. Music's not bad. The equalization of the music could have a little bit of work. That last song was a little too loud, but the music's not bad, though. It was a handheld games console. On the screen was displayed an image of a cute girl. Her eyes were closed, and she was lying in a hospital bed, her black hair fanning across her pillow. I'm gonna have
Kyle's little sister?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. A lot of people are gonna be wondering why I know that reference. Robbie.
Rob.
That's why I know that reference.
I don't even have to ask. I know why.
There was a text at the bottom of the screen, perhaps to explain what was happening in the scene. Samantha wasn't sure.
Samantha needs to start playing some games.
She did not play many games other than fantasy RPGs, and that was only occasionally because she liked the music and the fantastical environments. Even so, Lillian was far better at those than she was, particularly during the boss battles. Wait, did she play RPGs with Lillian?
Yeah, they were friends up until a few months ago.
No, isn't Lillian the super cute girl?
No, Lillian is... Oh, no.
No, that's Roberta. And this is DeQuincy.
Oh, this is Tabitha DeQuincy.
Yeah,
Lillian's super cute girl.
Yeah, she's super cute girl. Does she play RPGs with her?
Yeah, they must.
Oh, that's so cute! Samantha's fingers started to shake.
I wonder if that wasn't a typo.
So this whole time, she'd been comforting DeQuincy, not over the death of a friend or a family member, but over the death of a girl called Hannah. A girl who did not exist, never had done, and never would. That was a weird sentence.
Yes.
Well, now she felt like an idiot. DeQuincy smiled up at Samantha, her head tilted to one side. The worst thing was, there was not a trace of ill intent on DeQuincy's face. Her expression was completely innocent. It was clear she had not been intending to trick Samantha. Samantha had simply jumped to conclusions and had managed to make a fool out of herself. Not really, she's the one
I mean, that was pretty fair.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the girls crying in her seat. No,
Yeah.
it's pretty fair.
I mean, if that was me, I'd probably like, okay, it's not, you're not the one who's the fool there.
Yeah, no.
It's the other girl,
weird
really.
Scene. Yeah, she's the one crying her eyes out.
That's always happened.
Hey, do you want to borrow this game from me after I'm done? It's really emotional. I cried loads, even though this is my third playthrough. Hannah's death scene gets me every single time.
But she isn't real.
Hannah might not be real if you want to go by dictionary definitions, but she exists within my heart. In the universe of that game, I am Takumi, and I really am her big brother.
All right, time to eat this microphone! No!
Of course it's Takumi, too.
No! For my audience members who do not know this reference, I'm just gonna give you a quick lowdown. KANA'S little sister. You play her big brother Takumi. Your little sister is terminally ill. But you find out, spoiler alert, she's not actually your sister, so that's why it's totally okay, but you were raised together.
It's still not okay.
It's still not okay. Basically, the endings, there are only really two main endings you need to know about. One is if you get with your little sister, and then she dies. Or you don't get with her, and then she lives and goes on to be successful and ignores you for the rest of your life.
It's maybe like they're trying to put forth the moral, don't get with your little sister.
Yeah, so...
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Some people are out there right now are just like, well, yeah, but my situation... No.
No.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Listen, I've had a lot of people assume Robbie and I are dating. We are not.
Yeah,
including this person.
That's what you should do. You should get with your friend's little sister.
We're gonna keep going. Keep going, please.
I must protect Hana no matter what. I'd even give my life for her if necessary. That's how much I love her.
Well, You know what?
You're a weirdo.
Samantha smiled a strange smile and handed the console back to DeQuincy. Her movements were stiff, as though her bones had turned into stone. I think I'll pass, if it's all the same to you. I'm going to go back to my seat now. Good luck with the rest of your game.
Sam, wait up.
DeQuincy called after Samantha's retreating back, but it was already too late. The tentative peace which had blossomed between the two girls had already met its demise at the hands of a sudden winter snowstorm. Do they mean that literally or metaphorically?
I would assume metaphorically.
I think. Alright. We can actually stop here, folks. That was... Oh, wow, this got intense. Okay, we're gonna stop here before more intense things happen. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you're still enjoying this. And remember, peace, joy, love, and koi, everybody. Mwah.